Hello, everybody. I'm Uncle Matt.
How you guys doing? I'm the Tay Experience.
Hello everybody, I'm Nephew K.
And I'm Uncle Ray.
And together we are
The
four
four
G's.
Uncle Ray, what you got for us today? I see you got your guitar.
Yes, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, we are the essence of this country. And without us, it wouldn't even have a soul.
Mm.
We ain't the black pepper. We the hot sauce. It go in everything.
Yes, we are.
All right, nephew, what you following up with?
So many years of depression make me better living. Type of place to raise kids and open their eyes to the lies history's told foul. But I'm as wise as the old owl, plus the gold child. Seeing things like I was controlling, click rolling. Trigger 6 digits on clips and still holding. Tricks and savage, I civilize every... Give me one shot, I turn trife like to savage. Political prison and set free, stretch free. My work release purple and threes and jet skis. Fill a wind breeze from West Indies. I make Loretta Scott king mayor of the city and reverse fiends to Willies.
Forgive the Father, for they know not what they do. Forgive the Father, for they know not what they do. They offer us 40 acres in the middle, but you know.
So they gave it to us there. That's a discussion I think we should talk about. That's a great way to start it out. Uncle Ray, give us some history on 40 acres in the middle and the renaming of it, of course.
All right, good people. Y'all listen to me well. We was free in 1865. And over 240,000 men fought in the Civil War to free us, to help black men to help free us. And when they freed us, they didn't give us no land, no money, no animals, no tools. We were free to starvation and to the wilderness. But Abraham Lincoln, we fought so well in the Civil War, he knew that we needed something. And William Tecumseh Sherman said, what should we do? They sent the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Defense down there to meet with 20 black men down in Savannah. And them black men said that we wanted land. And that land is called Field Order 15. Check it out. Don't take my word for it, do your research. Field Order 15 in all of South Carolina, 30 miles in of tillable land from the coast. All of Georgia, from the coast 30 miles in, from the St. John River, which is in Jacksonville, Florida, north, all the coast 30 miles in with tillable land. That land today is worth trillions of dollars, and that's our reparations. The reason that we didn't get it, John Wilkes Booth shot Abraham Lincoln, and his vice president named Andrew Johnson vetoed the order. Reparations is a debt. It's a bill that need to be paid.
Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do.
Somebody gotta say that, dude.
Absolutely. That bill is outstanding. You know, it has been brought up in a lot of different places, California, New York, and even the city of San Francisco. And at this point right now, there's still no resolution to it. You know, we're going generation after generation without any how can I say it, resolution to the problem.
No wealth.
Absolutely.
It was government sanctioned for them. It was government sanctioned. In 1875, y'all do your research. In 1875, that was the 1877 Compromise. That's when the Republicans and the Democrats got together. And Rutherford B. Hayes was tied with Tyndall for president, and Tyndall was the candidate for the Democrat. And they said, if y'all take the troops out of the South who were protecting the black, the newly freed slaves, we'll let Rutherford B. Hayes be president. And that's what they did. And that was the call. That was the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, the red shirts, and the Night Riders.
Wow.
So you telling me that amongst the African American culture, homelessness should not even exist?
If they'd have left us alone and not burned down our neighborhoods, our healthy economic communities, we would be autonomously wealthy. You would have lived your entire life from birth to grave and wouldn't have to ask this government or white folk for a damn thing. Forgive me for saying damn.
Sounds like generational wealth, if you ask me.
Absolutely. And can
And
you
we
imagine?
were robbed. We were robbed.
And can you imagine this though? Families today are struggling to pay for students to go through college. You know, the basics, just getting through high school and elementary, be able to feed them 3 times a day. When you gotta work 40 hours a week, and a lot of cases you're a single parent, you know, the kids gotta rely on free lunches and breakfast at school to get by. And on top of that, you got clothing, you got housing costs, raising fuel costs, and a lot of opportunities that others have as a luxury, we still struggling with.
Exactly.
Now keep in mind, to get those resources, you have to stay under a certain income bracket. So even as a single parent like myself, if I wanted to go ahead and follow my dreams and become a nurse or a doctor and things like that, and want for my child to be able to have 3 meals a day, I have to provide it because I don't fit the income requirement for
Right.
things like social services and things like that, you know, that's in place. But, so it's like, do you better yourself or do you stay under, you know, that income just so your child could possibly get, you know, a quality life or whatever, according to the government or according to your morals? So
That's where generational wealth comes in. And see, that's where it kicks in. See, like during World War I, do your research. The Harlem Hellfighters. The Harlem Hellfighters went over. America didn't even want them, so they went to the French, and they done such a great job with the French that they got all those rewards and
Academics.
banners and stuff and for their jackets and stuff. And when they came back home, they threw the ticker tape parade for them, but they didn't have housing. They came back home, they didn't have no education, no money, they didn't have nothing because of their parents was all slaves. And it's generational what they done. It's government sanctioned. It came through government housing discrimination and redlining. That's the reason that's the reason we're wealthless now. And the main reason for gentrification in our neighborhood. Do y'all know what gentrification is? Gentrification?
No, explain it to us.
Yeah, gentrification is where black people live and get run down, and then another race of people comes in, and the government or what they are rezoning.
Yeah,
Make it
absolutely,
business.
like bulldozing and rebuilding and restructuring it.
And then it's at a cheaper price because we don't ran it down because we wealthless.
Yeah.
We don't have enough money. We can't get no loans to keep our neighborhood.
And you know what
So-
happened on the back end of that? When they build it up, it's 2 times that previous.
And then you have to
Right,
move
you
because
can't
you can't
afford to
pay
live
the
there.
taxes.
Yeah, absolutely.
sounds like modern day sharecropping, if you ask me.
Now sharecropping, I got to tell y'all about sharecropping.
Let's
Talk
talk
to 'em,
about it.
Talk to them.
All right. During the 1877 compromise, sharecropping came in like this. We had the 40 acres. That's Field Order 15. After Abraham Lincoln got shot, his vice president, Andrew Johnson, vetoed the order. And what happened was he gave the land back to the traitorous Confederates, the ones that we fought against. And all, I think were like 700,000 or 600,000 men died in that war. They should have all been hunted down. Bought the trial, jailed, hung, and shot for insurrection or treason. But now they got amnesty and they got their land back. They took the land that they had gave us back to them, and so we had to work for them again. That's where sharecropping came in at. We had to go back to work for the ones that had us enslaved.
I got a question though.
Sure.
How recent was this brought up before, you know, our governments and,
It was government sanctioned, bro.
yeah, but I'm saying how recent? In the 80s, wasn't it brought back up before Congress? Or
About sharecropping or what you
I'm talking about reparations.
Oh, now reparations has always been on the table. it was on the table. Bill Order 15 was land reparation. 1865, that was land reparation. When we came out of slavery, we needed something.
Yeah, because
We had worked for 240 years, and we had all the wealth that they accumulated under the British rule and under the American rule was all the wealth that they accumulated went to their owners. That wealth is still in here. It's in Chase banks. It's in insurance companies. It's in railroads.
Oil companies, yeah. Every mass.
The wealth ain't disappeared now, and this still the same government now. You hear a lot of people say stuff like, "That was so long ago. I just got here. I'm an immigrant. I ain't had nothing to do with it." This is America, and this is the same government that was back then. We celebrate 1776, the 4th of July, don't we?
Yes, indeed. Yes,
But Independence Day, I'm just asking.
Exactly.
You bring up a valid point.
I mean, so if we celebrate, that's the same government. And when you come to America, you not only get the privileges and all the benefits, you also get what? The debt.
Exactly. And it's interesting that you say that because before we saw our government take care of the Indians, we saw our government take care of foreigners in the way of the Jewish community when they came here after the Holocaust. And set them up in housing and financially. And here today, we still have foreigners that get their green card or whatever you call it, because I don't work for the government. But once they get this, they have a 700 credit score, something that when we graduated from high school, we had no score, but we started at the bottom because then we got to build credit. We got to establish ourselves as a paying American. You know, it's just crazy that we live in a society that if we owe the government, they come after us. But you owe us. You owe us.
Right.
Where is our payment? You overdue. You past due.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
You past due.
Overdue.
You past due.
They quit the tape, but they do not want to give back.
Ooh.
Exactly.
And what they call it?
That sounds like online shopping.
Yeah, accrued interest. And I believe I read somewhere that if this bill had been paid not more than 20 years ago, it would have been something like 800 billion. But today's tag is 14 trillion. And I'm just saying, how much higher is that bill gonna be? Before you realize that you're ours. And like Tate said, forgive them for they
They know not what they do. They know not
Exactly.
what they do.
Exactly.
That should
And
be
the
a
biggest
thing to
question
say.
is, why would a country with so many riches, so many good things about them being said all over the world, not take care of us?
I can tell you why, bro. There's a thing called eugenics. Y'all gotta look at this word eugenics. Eugenics was established by philanthropists. These are like when we give, it's called charity. But when wealthy people give, they use this big word called philanthropists. Where they build a wing. Well, we give $10 or $2 or $5. They build a wing to a hospital.
And put the name on.
The whole way for
They build a library. But for a future program, I want y'all to stay tuned. We're going to get into eugenics, and we're going to explain to you why racism is the way it is and so prevalent in our nation, and how Hitler was, he learned how to kill the Jews and stuff from America. He learned eugenics from America, and we can back it up with facts. We'll come back with facts. Come back. To be continued on that.
Yeah, but just on that question though that I put to you, I thought about it real long and hard. You know, when we first talked about discussing this topic, and it baffled me that the fact that if they paid us, who would replace us in the workplace?
Right, the immigrants, the ones that they're letting in now.
Yeah, absolutely. But
That's
they would absolutely need another 20
Right, that's the
million.
reason. That's the reason I think we're getting closer to reparations, because they're letting in these immigrants to replace our labor, and AI is going to do away with a lot of labor, but somebody still got to pick them strawberries.
Yeah, I mean, I hopefully at some point we do get what we're owed, which I feel at the end of the day, if they don't want to give it in money or if they feel it's not in land, you need to tell us then what you think is a great is something that we deserve, because we deserve something, not just a public apology. Public apology is not enough for all the things that we've been through over the course of all these hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Like, we need something as they done for everyone else, as they done for the Indians, as they done for the Jews. And it's no disrespect to them, but when do we get what we're owed? When do we get what was supposed to be given to us hundreds of years ago?
I want to
Well,
push
the
back
U.S.
on this.
play a lot of mind
Go
games.
ahead, baby.
The U.S. play a lot of mind games. That's what I'm hearing based off of what everybody is saying, from back in the day all the way up until where we are now, just generational mind games. And what I mean by that is back to sharecropping, what we talked about earlier. The fact that we worked a land that belonged to us and we had to pay somebody else to work a land that belongs to us, and we still couldn't afford to be on the land. They made sure they kept us in debt so we could stay there to work and work and work.
Tied to the
So
land.
it was a mental enslavement. You get what I'm saying? So as long as mentally we could be enslaved, then we would never get our 40 acres and a mule.
Right.
That's why with this generation now, with we teaching our children and them being so rebellious and saying that, look, we're not taking scraps anymore.
Right.
We want what belongs to us.
Right.
And that's why everybody is saying, you know, woke, woke, woke. I know we kind of use that word so loosely now, you know what I'm
They
saying?
don't
I'm
took
woke,
our
I'm
word.
woke.
Right.
However, woke is mentally aware of what you're doing to
Right.
me and everybody that comes behind me.
Exactly.
Because those before me, they're already teaching me that, oh, okay, they didn't teach you this back in school.
Right.
However, personal experiences is how I'm learning about the history that wasn't taught to me in school.
Right.
So as I
Personal
sit here and I'm
experience.
listening
Yeah.
from, you know, your generation and your generation,
Right.
and then, you know, we just keep going down the line. It's like, I'm an 80s baby. So we were taught, you know, Black History Month, you know, we
Martin
made
Luther King.
we made a big deal out of it, but I noticed that now that I'm a parent, my child doesn't even come home really talking about Black History Month. Sometimes February comes and goes, and it's like, now we say Black History Month is all year long, but the 1 month that we actually dedicated to it, it's like obsolete now. It's like it's not being utilized anymore.
And something else too, just jumping right on what she was talking about. You know, in some states like Florida, this Republican, I don't want to mention his name because I don't want to give him any type of right. So we're gonna leave name out. But this governor in Florida, he totally struck down the fact that Black history should even be taught in schools.
Right.
You know,
Like we
and
don't
that's the
exist.
part exactly. That's the part of our culture,
Right.
and that's what is so important about our conversation, because we go 2 or 3 more generations, we gonna forget about the 40 acres and a mule and whatever name that they want to put on it.
Not if I have anything to do with it.
Exactly. But 2 or 3 generations from now, are we gonna still be asking for it?
Now if we got a nephew, we're gonna pass it on.
Exactly.
That's the goal, is to take all the things that Unc is gonna help teach me and help teach all of us here,
Right.
and to utilize those things that he teaches us and to spread it out to everyone else who doesn't know. Because me growing up, I wasn't really taught a lot about the reparations. You know, you hear about it in school, you hear people tell you, oh, we do reparations.
Joke about it.
Right, but no one has ever really like sat me down, and no, I didn't take the time to read it
Right.
myself. But as I got older, you know, I want to learn new things. So I have a great cast up here. My peers are going to help teach me, so I can help teach everyone else
And you.
how we can go about getting what we are owed.
And just think about this.
It's a debt. It ain't no
That's
hand.
what I was about to say.
Just think about this.
Don't you pay your bill?
If every black household was attributed to $2 million, what would that do for
The economy.
our kids, the economy? Exactly. It would automatically take us to another level.
Right. We could
Some of us will still do wrong with the money,
Yeah.
but it's going to be those that's going to invest it properly. They're going to invest in themselves, their kids, education. They pay for their home that they're struggling to pay for. We can then stay home maybe and raise our kids a different kind of way. You know, we see other
No, you
families do
could.
that.
I got one better for you. We'll really see what culture utilizes the resources because it's easy to say that our culture utilizes the resources. That's why we need things like the free Head Start programs, and
Right.
this, that, and the other. But if we were given that $2 million like we should have been given many, many moons ago, you know what I'm saying? Will those resources still be, like, will we still be paying into those resources? We'll actually see what group of people actually utilize them instead of us being the face.
Hey, check this out too. Just off of that, this money would go right back into our communities.
Of
This would go
course.
right back into our local banks, our
Exactly.
grocery stores,
Exactly.
our strip malls, our
Black
malls.
businesses.
Yeah, black businesses. It's a way for us to grow.
Now,
It's totally a way for us.
Maybe better political leaders, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to feel like they gotta lie and
Because we
bribe
definitely
people.
need a third
And
party.
with that being said, I feel you said with the money we get, we could have more parents send their kids to good black schools to become doctors, lawyers,
Exactly.
future presidents, all these things that we don't have enough of because a lot of parents don't have the funds to send their
Hey,
kids
check
to
this
school.
out.
Let's be honest. Maybe we didn't even have to worry about integrating schools. Maybe we could have made everybody happy.
Well,
Hey, check this
that's
out.
a
Talking
different
about
topic
putting-
because
putting
black
cream in
people had
coffee.
their
To
own
be
everything.
continued.
To be continued. Because we literally had our own everything. We had our own sports teams. We had everything. We wanted to feel equal,
Absolutely.
and we wanted to integrate
y'all
with them. We didn't
not
have to.
Do
Yeah,
y'all
he felt like
not
they
But
got
check this out.
Exactly.
Just think about this. Just think about this. Real. Think about the prison system. How many young black men and women that are locked up just because they didn't have the proper representation? You know,
Oh, that's
one thing that other cultures are able to do is go in their pocket and get the best lawyer, affordable, to make sure that person don't serve time for carrying a joint in their pocket.
Maybe our reparation is paying for the public defenders that we're getting.
Oh, that's what the money was.
That's
It's
where
a
it
positive.
is.
Exactly.
Possibly.
Exactly.
Maybe they spread our reparations out. They said, oh,
Exactly.
okay, look, you got food stamps and we got
Exactly.
cash assistance and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do
But
that.
then that's not fair because you have white people that's on those as well. So
Exactly.
are they reaping from our so-called reparations?
Absolutely. We go back to sharecropping.
Now,
This is your land. My land is your land. Your land is my land.
Right.
But you gonna work my land, and I'm gonna charge you to stay on what's technically your land, but you don't know
No bad
that.
your land.
And
But
and
got
I
a
put
story.
fairness.
I got a story that Uncle Ray could elaborate on. When the government gave the Indians their land, it was actually impersonators.
Right.
Impersonators that went in there and actually said, "Well, I'm an Indian too."
they call it
They call-
$5 Indian.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Talk about that.
Yes. Talk about it because you educated me on it.
Right. I never knew nothing about that.
Yeah, this good stuff right here, man.
It's called the Dawes Roll. It's on the Dawes Roll when the United States government decided to try to, that's what reparations for, is to redress what they done to somebody. Everybody don't receive except us. Well, anyway, back to the $5 Indian. To show you how notorious and nefarious these people are. When they got ready to do the right thing, the person who was actually taking the role, some white people, white men came up and said, "Look, I give you $5, you put me on that roll." And guess what? He took the $5 and put him on the roll. Don't take my word for it. It's called the Dawes Roll, and it's called the $5 Indian. And sometimes you go to these casinos and you go to the front of the lobby and look at the tribal leaders. Notice them white folks on there.
I just wanted you
They
to
can
talk
find a
about
way to
that.
get it. Put
I
themselves
said,
on
But I
everything.
also
Now,
want
nigga, that's
to push
what
back.
Just to see.
I want to push back and let everybody on the panel know and out there know that you're gonna hear stuff like, "We paid reparations." What about all those men that died? And y'all got reparations through what they call affirmative action. Don't take my word for it. Do your research. Look and see who benefited the most on the affirmative action. I said 200 some thousand. In actuality, it was 189,000 black men fought in the Civil War. We was actually there, what they call when you get depleted and you bring in reinforcement. We were actually their reinforcement.
Yeah,
We
they
figured
ran
out
out of
so-
people.
And
They didn't come get the real fight.
and see, we were fighting for more than keeping the United States together from succeeding. We was fighting for freedom. We were fighting for our families. And whenever you hear somebody say something like, but y'all sold yourselves in the slave, what about all the black people? They was buying their family members back. They was buying their mothers, their fathers, their sisters, and their brothers back. So don't get it twisted. It's a long story. If y'all continue to watch it, we're gonna learn words like swervy. You know what that word is? Swervy. And you're gonna find out.
That's a great word. That's a great word.
You're gonna find out about
absolutely.
what the word brunette means. Brunette is these
Well,
are
give us an example of one of them. You know, just give them a little taste.
yeah, like these was words that people use to identify what you look like. And brunette meant that you was brown. That was your complexion. Your complexion was brown, dark brown. Swarthy mean is your complexion, what you look like. And whenever you see Europeans who were swarthy and brunette, they look like us. Now, one of the things I want to clear up, we ain't African American. A lot of us, the overwhelming majority of us, are Aborigines of America. We are the original people of Turtle Island. That's another story to be continued.
To be
To be
continued.
You
I'm
gonna hear that
here
lot.
for the history.
We're gonna have a whole lot of to be continued.
Hey, we're talking to you soon. Hey, we'll put all that information out there so you know where to find us on your particular podcast. Like I said, we are the 4Gs and we're here for you. We're coming with information and a lot of dialogue and fact check everything we talk about today, and you'll find out that we are definitely owed money. And our government, like all times before, you know, they're gonna fail us on this. Our president, sitting president, former president, Obama, we can go all the way back to
All
of them, Jimmy Carter, none of them thought about us on this particular subject.
I got a
So,
question. What do you think the reason why?
for
We not that they don't want to give us these reparations.
oh man, it deals. Dr. Claude Anderson, you gotta check out Dr. Claude Anderson. It's all about competition. The race is actually an economic race. It's not color of race. And if you can benefit, you know, it's a race. If you can benefit and keep somebody down, that's what they did. That's when they passed black code laws. They didn't pass no Chinese code laws or no Native American code laws. Some of them was, but the overwhelming majority of laws that held us back was government sanctioned called black code laws. They didn't want you to be competition because just like everything else, we would kill them. You know, we would destroy them. We would be in charge.
Ooh.
Well, my theory on
Sound
that.
like we going into rap and hip hop.
Right.
Maybe they gotta pay a rap or a hip hop artist, but that's to be continued.
See, that's when
Yeah.
Reconstruction after slavery called Reconstruction. And one of the first things we did, now remember now, we just getting out of slavery. We didn't have no money, no land, no animals, and no tools. And one of the first things we did, we got our little pennies up together and opened up a bank. Notice, all of your historical black colleges is after 1865. All of them. Howard University started in 1865. All the other universities came after 1865. Before 1865, we were enslaved.
No,
We
this
were
is problem. Didn't allow us to learn anything. They didn't want us
Hey, y'all
to
continue to
be
watch.
smart.
We're gonna teach y'all about how to hold the Democratic Party and this whole Republican Party and this nation feet to the reparation fire. Only thing we have to do is stop doing stuff. And,
Accountability.
hey, if we was to stop voting, just move as a group and say, look, we ain't buying that. We ain't going now. Hey,
We boycott
you know the
them.
least I would take if they gave us reparations, the least I would take is pay my student loans. Allow me to be able to have my education that I work so hard
I
for.
feel that's not enough.
Why should
I'm
I
gonna
have
push
to
back on that,
I feel
learn?
that's not enough.
tell you, I'm
It's
gonna
not
push
enough.
I'm gonna push
Listen,
back
that's
on
the
that.
least. That's why I
It's
said
not
the
enough.
least I
Telling
would
them,
accept.
sorry.
Now, cause
Well,
you
tell me
if you say the least
tell
and
me
they give you
this.
that, they
Hold
gonna
on.
think they got off
So
good.
listen, they not even giving it to
Tell
us.
The
Tay,
least.
tell me
The
this,
least.
Tay. Tell me.
You put $2 million in my pocket. That's
Tay,
the least.
tell me
That's
this.
the least. Put
Tay,
$2 million
you
in
know,
my pocket.
when you-
I think
When you go to pay your light bill, you go in there and say, what? I think I want to give you a little less.
What's the minimum?
It gonna be some money.
Right.
It gotta be some money.
turn this way.
Okay. It gotta be some money.
Yeah, but
It gotta be money.
$2 million, and the reason that they won't do it.
Hold on, 2 million tax free.
$2 million tax free, absolutely. Because I will get a house out of that, my kids will get education, and I can pay it forward. In other words, I'll put something in the bank for those behind me. You know, and secondly, they will not do it because,
You're going to take that $2 million, and
Oh,
at some point you're
I
going
ain't
to
thinking
invest
about
in
student
you.
education.
That's what
I'm
saying.
thinking about.
No,
I'm thinking
I'm
a
talking
lot
about
of-
entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
they're scared of. The
Yeah,
fact that if
right.
we got that
No, but
money,
not
we will
only-
invest in us.
Listen
And
to this.
investing in myself is investing in my culture.
They would
You know
have
what I'm
to,
saying?
they would have to tear down every wall and gate around Mexico that let everybody up from South America to come replace us on the assembly line.
Nah.
The postal workers.
AI gonna take
Who
care
are
of
gonna do those jobs if they give us all $2 million?
Yeah,
Who gonna do them
We'll
jobs?
do those jobs. The thing is,
No.
we'll be owners of those jobs. We
Not
will
the
be
postal
working for
service.
another.
Hey,
Well,
man.
some people
Maybe.
will.
Not the assembly line.
Some of us will do it because, as you
Hey,
know,
I gonna
some of
take
us
that
is gonna
assembly
mess
line,
that
bro.
money up.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be honest.
It is.
It's gonna be
It
some
is.
people
But
who-
yeah,
That's what they're
It's
gonna be
still-
banking on.
Right. They're gonna be banking on the
Exactly.
majority of us still messing the money up, which that's a part of life.
And
There's
it's
nothing
gonna
to do
happen.
about that.
Financial illiteracy.
There you go.
Hey,
Which is something
you
else
know,
we need to
that-
learn as
You know what they're
students.
afraid of? They're not afraid of the 10 to 15% that's gonna blow it. That's what they're gonna blow up.
No,
And
the
so
ones
they're
that
gonna blow
don't
this.
blow.
They're gonna blow that up and say, "This what they're gonna do with it." But that's gonna be that 10 to 15%. But that 85%, they're gonna do the right thing.
That's gonna
That's what they're
feel-
afraid of, yeah.
That's what's gonna feel them the most.
That's what-
because
that's what they're
because
afraid of.
people like Oprah
T. Woke.
Winfrey and all those
This
other rich
generation.
billionaires out there, Tyler Perry, I'm sorry I'm name calling, name dropping, whatever. But they should be in front of the line to make sure that their people get taken care
Let
of.
me-
But
I'm
the
pushing
one
back
thing a
on that.
billionaire does,
I'm pushing back
they
on
do
that.
not want other people to be enriched because it makes their money smaller.
Listen, the credit what you said about that, the reason why I don't see none of the billionaires doing that, they're already having a mindset they worked and got theirs. They're not really caring about the people who didn't. And to them, they looking at it as, oh, we're receiving a gift, something free.
No.
Like as if we didn't work for
Hold
it.
Our
So
ancestors
that,
didn't
no,
deserve it.
exactly.
Hold up.
To them, that's how they're gonna see it.
But let's go back to the mindset that we're in. Oh, we all came from the same struggle. Are they talking about slavery, the same struggle? Or are they talking about, you came from a 2-parent household and I came from a single parent household.
Right.
And because I took the least amount and made something of it, and you feel like, and I feel like, well, you had a little bit more than me because you had another parent in the household.
Right.
We never said that parent was a functional parent.
Right.
We never said anything.
Right.
So your 2-parent household could have been way worse and
Versus my
less
single
loving
parent. Right.
than my
Right.
single parent household.
Right.
So did we really start at the same place?
place.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And we as a people, we got to get out that mindset.
But that's the biggest problem in the black community. We are, if we were to bond together,
Crab
to
and
fight
barrel
one
mentality.
fight together,
Right.
we'd be so powerful.
That's the reason reparation is that fight.
Exactly. And this is the fight.
That's the
$14 trillion fight.
Right.
And we can win this fight if we do it together.
Right. I agree.
If we do it together. And moving forward, we're going to talk about a lot of things, but right now,
Tune in.
to be continued.
To be
To be
continued.
To be continued. You're gonna hear that a lot. To be continued.